What's going on? It's Jack Mack here with Unnecessary Roughness. I'm about to tell you the craziest high school football story I've ever heard of. Bishop Sycamore played IMG Academy yesterday, and then an incredible amount of information came out about a potential fake school that is not IMG Academy, but Bishop Sycamore. But before we get into that, I want you to quickly just like the video, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell. You know the deal. Support Unnecessary Roughness. We got full episodes, clips like this. You know the deal. Subscribe, like the video, because if you like the video, like the video. Around this time every year, ESPN puts out showcase games between two massive high school programs. A school from Pennsylvania will play a school from Florida. Ohio will play a school from California. Yesterday, ESPN put on a marquee game matchup between IMG Academy, which is in Florida, which is essentially a high school that is created just for the sake of helping athletes get better, but they do go to classes, which is not what you could say about the school that they played, Bishop Sycamore. You probably have never heard of Bishop Sycamore outside of the memes and other reporting that's been going on social media the past, I would say, 24 to 48 hours. That's because Bishop Sycamore was a school that was created in the year 2020. And I use the term school very loosely because they may not even be a school. I say they're not a school because there is next to no evidence that the kids take classes. It's supposedly online. When you look up the school that is technically located in Ohio, but they do play in, wait for it, a Texas high school football conference. The school that its address online is in Columbus, Ohio. But when you look up their address, it's not a high school. It's just a suburban house right here. Yep. That's the address on Google Maps. There is no evidence that any of these kids take any classes. You can get on IMG all you want, but Bishop Sycamore isn't going to class at all. But here's the kicker. IMG Academy doesn't go to class, but they're good at football. Bishop Sycamore stinks. They lost on Sunday 58-0. Last year they went 0-6. This year they're 0-3 already. They lost last year the IMG Academy 56-6. I don't know how IMG didn't score 100. They probably just stopped because they realized that Bishop Sycamore had no business being on the same field as them. There's a highlight I'm playing up here right now, as you can see. It's just like it was unfair. It was honestly unsafe for these players. So midway through the second quarter, ESPN's announcers essentially just turned on the game itself. They just could not believe what was happening. Nish Shroff was the play-by-play, and the color guy, who is a recruiting analysis for ESPN, the recruiting analysis, was Tom Luganbill. And in the middle of the second quarter, when IMG was up 30-0, they just decided to go in on Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore told us they had a number of Division I prospects on their roster. To be frank, a lot of that we could not verify. And they did not show up in our database. They did not show up in the databases of other recruiting services. So it's okay. If that's what you're telling us, fine. That's how we take it in. From what we've seen so far, this is not a fair fight. And there's got to be a point now, Ludes, where you do worry about health and safety.
I already am worried about it. I think it's this could potentially be dangerous given the circumstances and the mismatch that we have here. And quite honestly, Bishop Sycamore doesn't have not only the frontline players, but they don't have the depth in case something were to happen to their roster with maybe a kid or two here throughout the remaining 2.5 quarters of this football game.
Bishop Sycamore claims that they have multiple D1 players on their team, but there is no evidence to suggest that that's true. So not only do they lie about being a school, they lie about their players having D1 offers. Everything about Bishop Sycamore was just, I'll say, a joke. Straight up joke. Almost all of it was made up. Let's just start with number one. The name Bishop Sycamore is a lie. When you hear Bishop, you probably think of Bishop Gorman, which is a school that is massive, a football powerhouse in Nevada. Also, Liv Coward went there. Yeah, go ahead, bonk me. I don't fucking care. Bishop Gorman is a real Gorman. Bishop Gorman existed. There was never a Bishop Sycamore. Never. There was never a bishop named Sycamore, ever. So right there, we'll start with that. Then, when you look at their roster's a complete and total joke, which they give to the announcers. This is what it looked like. And we got this information from a guy who was given it on, wait for it, Friday night. And you want to know why he was giving it on Friday night? Because he was calling a high school football game in Pennsylvania, which Bishop Sycamore participated in. So Bishop Sycamore, which only has 30 to 35 players, so most of the players have to play on both sides of the ball. They played on Friday night, lost 19-7, at least they scored. Then 2 days later, they had to go and play IMG Academy, one of the best high school teams in America, on 2 days rest, 1 day rest, actually, because they played on Friday night and they play on Sunday afternoon. That is insane. And also, I'm not going to stand on like my moral horse. That's not a thing, but it probably should be my moral high ground. But that's unsafe for the kids. Bishop Sycamore, just everything about them, from the name, their roster. Look at that roster. I've seen JV rosters better than that. And then also they were playing games, 2 games over a weekend with 35 players, most of them playing on both sides of the ball. Bishop Sycamore's entire program has been a mess for a while, since it started in 2020, the online satellite school. This is their website, the school's website. It's just a blog. It's just a blog. If you scroll down on it, you just see a post about football, and those posts aren't even good. Recruiting 101 is the most recent post from May 21st. Recently, they started a GoFundMe about a month ago to help with traveling expenses because they play literally all over the country. If you look at their schedule this year, they play in Connecticut, they play in Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, Texas. I'm probably missing states, but they play all over. So I don't know how they're traveling. That costs money. But Bishop Sycamore, they travel all over, so they're trying to raise some money. They wanted $20,000 to help with that and equipment and whatnot. But here's the thing. They raised $140 in that GoFundMe. That's it. $140. So, yeah. The Bishop Sycamore, it's like a South Park prank. The internet is rarely united on anything, but everybody was united on making fun of Bishop Sycamore, or just looking at the Bishop Sycamore story thinking, oh my God, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But there was one account on Twitter that just defended Bishop Sycamore like it was their job. Prep Gridiron Logistic, they were tweeting at Anish Shroff, who was the play-by-play guy, and saying all the top high school football programs in Ohio were given the opportunity to play IMG today. Bishop Sycamore was the only school to step up. They also were just replying to everyone mentioning the name Bishop Sycamore. Bishop Sycamore has double-digit D1 recruits on its 2021 roster. That's not true. They fear no one. That may be true. And they're the only team in Ohio that stepped up and excited this exciting challenge to play a #1 team in America in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So this account is probably ran by their coach, which it then came out there's rumors that their coach has an arrest warrant out for him. As people continue to dig on Bishop Sycamore, there was been a few threads on random message boards, Ohio high school football message boards throughout the internet, and people have been talking about Bishop Sycamore in little circles for a year now, and they also have pointed out to us, because they're experts on Bishop Sycamore, that this isn't the first time they played 2 games in a weekend. Again, that's incredibly unsafe. These are high school kids, and you're having them play 2 games in a weekend, and not only 2 games, but a game against IMG Academy. You saw that video of the offensive line against IMG's defensive line, which is all D1 recruits. That's unsafe. Andrew Ivins provided us with this story. Andrew works for 24/7 Sports. Reading so many stories on Bishop Sycamore today, so let me share this one. They played a defender on Sunday that's originally a 2020 from Florida, so he should have graduated 2 years ago, class of 2020. There's kids who are seniors right now in high school that were playing in that game that'll be class of 2022. So this guy could be 20. He's originally a 2020 from Florida. Kid has reported over 24 fake offers. So that's another theme from Bishop Sycamore. Along with it being a fake high school and a fake bishop, they also have just loads of fake Division I offers. The kid has reported over 24 fake offers, showed up once to a 7v7 tryout, and used a fake ID. That's unbelievable. His huddle is also fake. That is crazy. As I said, this guy was originally class of 2020, so this kid's playing with kids who are class of 2022. That kid is not the only kid that is rumored to be on the team that is not of age. There are serious rumors that there are just kids who went to JUCO, and then instead of going to a real college after JUCO, not by real I mean a 4-year institute or another JUCO, they went back to high school and played for Bishop Sycamore. So there could be 20-year-olds on the team, 21-year-olds on the team. Who knows? There could be, you or I watching this video could go sign up for Bishop Sycamore and play with them next weekend. The legal issues for Bishop Sycamore head coach Roy Johnson are extensive. There's a possible arrest warrant out for him. Somebody on Yappy forums went into all of his public records since 2018. He defaulted
on 2 loans of $90,000 and $105,000 in 2018. There's another $110,000 that he's being sued for because the coaches and players stayed in the Baymont Inn in Delaware for about 6 weeks during the 2018 season. I don't know if this is Bishop Sycamore, but probably another school. And then they just didn't pay. Then 2019, a very similar case. Roy Johnson's team stayed at the Griff Apartments in 2019 without paying. Then, unfortunately, there's about 22 other eviction cases against the players that stayed in these apartments. Rent was probably about $35,000 for all those 24 apartments per month. So that's another $100,000 he's down. So we're down around $300K. He also had a domestic violence assault disorderly conduct case in 2020. That's awful. And then in 2020 in September, evictions following the 2020 football season went by the name ISE Foundation that year. Rent was probably around $25,000 per month for all 16 apartments. They didn't pay that. They also owe a charter bus company an incredible amount unknown. And then there was a Delaware County beach warrant issued for Leroy Johnson in July 2021. So
yeah, this is like, it's a funny story, but also sad because I mean these are high school kids involved, and I'm also pretty sure that these are kids that unfortunately are like not privileged. They are just trying to get to the next level playing college football, and this Bishop Sycamore gave them that chance, or they thought, and unfortunately they got duped. Also, so did ESPN. And I know they're deflecting the blame to the marketing company that that set up this game, but that's ridiculous. The ESPN should be better than that. And then on top of that, IMG Academy as well. IMG Academy, I get it if it happens once, but it happening twice. You guys played them last year. Like, why are you playing them again? That's also another thing that, not the players. I mean, the players just come up and show up and play, but like the administration of IMG Academy, the coaches and whatnot, like that's ridiculous. I know you want to play on ESPN, but say we don't want to play Bishop Sycamore. But all in all, it's a crazy story. It's like I said, it feels like it's out of South Park. It feels like it's out of like some comedy skit show. Bishop Sycamore, everything from its name was made up. Everything from its name. And I think this meme will live on forever.